It was a morning like any other. Mr. Johnson had woken up in a secondary role. You see, his job was to support someone else. His job was to be the one who caught the vision of his leader and furthered that vision. His position was one to where he wasn't making a lot of the decisions, but instead he was to be there for the person he was. It was a job that he had waited for his entire life. He had been learning to get up to this point. He was following what history would call it a great man. But on this November morning, everything changed. While Mr. Johnson was sitting in a plane, someone brought him news saying the unthinkable had happened. That JFK had been shot. Within an instant, in Baines Johnson world, it was changed. Drastically changed. And this man who was once in a secondary role, this man whose job was to learn from his leader and to further the vision of his leader, now he was the one who was responsible for shaping the vision of tomorrow for the United States of America. He was the new leader of the free world. In one moment, his entire world was changed. He had a daunting task in front of him. He had seen his leader be the catalyst for change in a way that no other leader had been before. How was Lyndon to follow that? Lyndon Baines Johnson was called to have courage on command. Within an instant, his world had changed. For us, there are going to be moments. We're called to courage. Where our situation changes and all of a sudden we're faced with a task and we're just not sure that we can accomplish. What happens then? Today, I want to talk about another man who was called to have courage. And within just a moment, with the loss of his leader, this man's world was drastically changed. No longer in a secondary role. This man was to lead a people into a new nation. I want you to open up with me to Joshua chapter 1. We're going to be in Joshua chapter 1. I'm going to start in verse 2. Before we get there, I just want to let you know how excited I am to be with you this morning. I love this small group. Excited that Jeff asked me to be here. Just wanted to thank you. I love this church and appreciate the opportunity to be with you. A little history about what's going on with Joshua. What do we know about him? Well, we know that he was in a secondary role to Moses. We know that he was one who entered into the promised land as a spy and came back with a great report saying that we can enter into this land and take it. One of only two who entered into the promised land saw the threat of those inhabitants who was there and said that our God can take that land anyway. We can move forward and it's a great place to be. He had faith in the vision that God had delivered to Moses, and Moses had spread amongst the people that no longer were they captives, but they were going to go to a land of milk and honey. He was in a secondary position. His role was to learn from Moses, and that's exactly what he did. He followed Moses. He imitated Moses. He grew under the leadership of Moses. Joshua chapter 1 brings this lifestyle, brings this role to a drastic change for Joshua. All of a sudden, his world is shattered. Joshua chapter 1, beginning in verse 2, we're going to go verses 2 through 9. This is the Lord speaking to Joshua. Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, you and all this people, into the land that I am giving to the people of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given to you. Just as I promised to Moses. From the wilderness and the Lebanon, as far as the great river, river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, the great sea toward the going down of the sun, shall be your territory. No man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. Just as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not leave you or forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you shall cause this people to inherit the land that I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, being careful to do according to all the law that Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may have good success wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate it on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that it is written. For then you will make your way prosperous, and you will have good success. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Things changed drastically for Joshua. All of a sudden, the man that he was following, the man that he was imitating, is dead. And the Lord speaks to Joshua this sobering truth: my servant Moses is dead, and now you will lead these people. Could you imagine the fear that must have come with that? Can you imagine being told that you are now responsible for an entire nation, not only for leading them, but leading them into a new territory to fight and take that land? Joshua must have been terrified. Can I do it? Can I lead? Can I inspire them to fight? The doubts that must have creeped into this man's mind. But 3 times the Lord says to him, be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. Have I not commanded you to be strong and very courageous? How can Joshua be strong and courageous? He knows how difficult it was for Moses. He knows the hearts of these people, that they can be fickle. Sometimes he knows that the task is difficult. Where is he going to find that courage? Where is he going to find that strength? What's interesting here is that God reminds Joshua of the promises that he had made to the nation of Israel. God doesn't deliver news to Joshua saying, I might give this land to these people. I may have told the fathers of these men that I would deliver to them a new nation. No, he's saying that I'm going to give you this land. You are going to lead these people into this place that I had promised to the Israelites. There was certainty.